I'm Michael Fuco Rizzo, and I'm the owner of the Jullian Price House here in Greensboro. At the time of purchasing the house, we had to buy the house as is, where is. So all of the contents of the home were also purchased as part of the foreclosure process. And we needed to empty the house. Unfortunately, I had been, let go with the former owner, and she didn't have the ability to upkeep it. And there was a hoard inside. It needed to be cleaned out, and so we contacted the TV show Hoarders and worked with the former owner to help empty the house out, sell off some of the contents, and then we were featured as the 2-hour season finale in 2017. It was the first 2-hour episode ever, simply because of the size of the house and the amount of contents that we had to empty out. And it was really the best solution for us to be able, it was the best solution for all parties involved, where we could sell the contents, which were legally ours, and give the proceeds back to the former owner to help her get on her feet. And then the process started from there. Once the house was empty, we started restoring it. Architecturally, the house is stunning. For many years, it was covered. You really couldn't see it from the street. So by clearing all the land, we first were able to see the beauty of the house that kind of hasn't been seen in almost 40 years, or had been overgrown for about the last 20 years. So it was the start of the landscaping project that we've taken on. This house is unlike anything we've ever done before. It literally takes up like a city block. It looks enormous from the outside, but it's actually only one room deep, so it's very long and narrow inside. But if you're standing in one room, if you think about going to the other end of the house, it's actually 5 houses down the block from behind us. So we've never taken on a project like this as far as the size of the land. This is 1.62 acres. It all has to be completely landscaped. It's not like, oh, you have a backyard that can be dumping ground, or I'm just going to put a storage shed there. This is 1.6 acres of landscaped and lighted grounds that all are very, very beautiful, that needed to be restored. So for a landscape company or a lighting company, they have to accentuate the house, not necessarily the ground so much, because the house is the focal point in this case. But at the same time, you want to drive up and see beautiful gardens, beautifully landscaped lawns, well lit at night, security. I mean, there's all kinds of different aspects to take in. You don't want the exterior landscaping to overpower the house when the house is the focal point. So it's really a fine balance for them to find how to do both. So the house, we originally intended to buy and fix up the house and then sell it again. It was just a fun project. I mean, we used to drive by it all the time and see it, and just like other houses and other people, like, oh, let's buy that. And well, it actually worked out that we bought it. And then once we cleaned it out, we decided that we would open it to the public as a designer show house benefiting a local nonprofit. And then from there, the interest grew, your social media and people, things like that, magazines. And then the interest grew from there, where there were people coming through for the tours. Then they wanted to know, could they see how we lived afterwards, or could we come back for Christmas, or when can I sleep there? And so it sort of just evolved. Someone's asked us, can I get married there? Can I have a cocktail party there? And so it really just evolved into the public really wanted to still use the house. And it is quite large. It's 9,000, well, it's closer to 10,000 square feet on 4 floors. It looks like 2 stories from the outside, but it's actually 4 stories. And I was making the final decision on a lighting contractor. One of the things everybody does today is they go to Google. So it's the simplest thing to kind of look up and see who you're dealing with, right? So Southern Lights had a nice web page that they had a beautiful homepage, landing page. I was able to see some of the certifications that they actually had and some of the other projects that they had worked on around the United States. And that sort of builds your confidence, especially when you're taking on a project of this size. And it really needs to shine. It needs to be right. This is not something you can mess up on a historic house. So it helped to be able to see all the qualifications that Southern Lights had.